Liam, thanks very much for joining us. Tough game today. Let's speak about on the pitch first. Point against Boreham Wood. Just talk us through the game.
Very tough game. We knew that was going to be that way. We've seen the form, we've seen the way that they set up, very solid. Obviously, when Reid plays, he used the front man really well. But other than that, when they've not played him, they've used the two that they play today, and they've got great movement and keep you on your toes. I just think we probably cancelled ourselves out a little bit today. On the pitch, it was excellent work by the ground staff to get the game on, because when we first got here, it was just covered in snow. So, a massive pat on the back to all the helpers that did that, because we need the games on. We need to get them in, and I think we have to be satisfied with a point, because a point against these, I think they're going to be in and around those places to go up this year. They've been there in multiple seasons, so they're well organised, like I've said. But I think we are disappointed in the fact that we've probably given them one chance in the second half, really, where he's gone through and emphatically took the finish. But for a side that have caused a lot of teams a lot of problems, like I said, it was quite a stalemate, really. And I thought out of the game we probably had the better chances, and maybe looked likely that we was going to sit on maybe the 1-0 and see it through, but it wasn't to be. So there's lessons to be learned from that moving forward. But we've said, obviously, if we can go to Kings Lynn on Tuesday night and make that a win and get 4 points in a week, you're just keeping the points ticking around on the board. So it's massively important to do that, because you don't know what's going to happen elsewhere. And like I said, we know we've got more than enough in this dressing room to challenge for it outright. So yeah, we just keep progressing. Atmosphere is really positive, and yeah, like I said, we'll dust ourselves down, good recovery, and go again Tuesday for another long trip.
Quite a strange season, what with all the breaks and the COVID and everything else. Are you at a stage where you're looking at other teams in the league, or do you just focus on your own?
No, we're aware, obviously, of the start that Torquay have made, and in comparison to some other seasons, I think if you do your homework really well on your points per game tallies and things like that, you'll know if you're in a good stead, or if you're slightly behind or not. And I think we've made great progress. I think there's a lot of teams, maybe 4 or 5 teams, that are actually playing above the 2 points a game average. So it's going to be a tight, tough season, which it always is in this league, with a 1-up and then the playoffs. But I think over the course of the season, we've just hit 16 games, is it? So we've got a lot of points to play for. There's 80 points still to play for. So there's going to be a lot of changes and stuff. But this side are hopefully going to stick around in those top spots and just take each game as it comes, really. Anybody obviously that we're playing that we think is going to be around the playoffs, that's going to be an important point, to not get beat at home. So it keeps our run going now, unbeaten in the league, a little bit longer. So like I said, we'll take a lot to Kings Lynn on Tuesday and look to make it a good week.
Just talk to us what the mood was like in the dressing room after the game. Like you say, tough opposition, tough pitch conditions, good point. What was the mood like in the house?
Yeah, you get a feel of players you played against from previous clubs, being around this level for a little bit. So we knew what sort of game we was going to be in for. I think we've got the characters to be able to go and do sort of the ugly side of the game, which is the football court, they say. And it wasn't really a game to show probably our qualities in terms of the passing and moving, but we did try and get it down in stages. I think, like you say, on the day it was going to be who was a case of wanting it more of the first phases and second phases and the set pieces. And we'll be slightly disappointed that we conceded a goal, because that would have been a massive 3 points. The way that we played at Dagenham, to move the ball around and then to come and play at home and show you're a tough, solid side. But like I said, there's lots of positives to take, and we'll correct and learn from the lessons of why they scored the goal. So all in all, probably a good afternoon.
Let's talk about Jim Gannon. It's been a week of upheaval for Stockport County. The manager has parted ways. Just talk to us a little bit as a player, as the club captain, your reaction when you saw that Jim had left.
Yeah, obviously when I first heard the news, I was really shocked. We'd done the session on the Thursday, so it was a bit of a shock, and big shock. It's going to be a massive shock and a massive change to the supporters, and it's obviously the direction that the owners want to go in, and it's not our responsibility as players. We go out there, do the business, and make sure that any changes that happen don't change the dynamic of the group. I think they've been excellent in the way they approached yesterday's training session. We're in fantastic hands at the minute with Dave. He's been brilliant, to the side of Jim. I just want to thank Jim for obviously giving me the opportunity to captain the club to start with and continue my journey now. And obviously I wish him all the best. He's been a magnificent person for the club. Whether he was a player at the time or the management, he's set this club up now over the last 5 years to be in a great position it is to kick on with the backing that we've now got. And obviously some will be really disappointed, but I think it's really important that now whoever it is that comes in, or whether Dave takes it on for a little bit longer, that we stick together on the pitch and the fans stick with us and keep supporting us on the streams at the minute, because like I said, we're going to try our best to represent the club when we're on the pitch, and hopefully if there's a time where fans can come back in this season, that they'll be able to share some new great memories of where the club's going next. But obviously all the lads, owe a lot of thanks, because I think Jim has, even in the short time that some of us have been here, have improved us as players, developments wise, whether it's tactically or technically, and we're in a good position as a group now to kick on. And like I said, the focus for us now is this Tuesday night.
In some ways, it almost feels a bit disrespectful asking this so soon after he's leaving, but football is what it is. Fans will talk about who could be next, which manager might come in next. As players, do you have to focus on the games at hand, or do these conversations, do they happen where you see the speculation, this name or that name? Do you talk about it as players, or do you just try and focus on the game?
No, I think we've got a massive responsibility to, your manager's just left, so technically, your assistant manager moves up one, and then everybody moves up a place in terms of, your leaders, the senior players that are out on the pitch become, massive, and you can't hide in, and you've got to make sure you take responsibility of the situation. And I think we've done Dave proud today in terms of the way we went about the business, and done the club, proud, just to keep things normal on the pitch, because I know it is going to feel, slightly abnormal, a bit of a shock. And when you go 5 years under the same man and sort of shared the success and the improvement year on year, obviously he's left this season with us still in an improvement of a position. So it's up to us to carry what we've started with him and replicate that with the new manager that comes in. But we know as a group, like we said, each one of us has to be, stand up and be counted. I think we've been doing that over the course of the season. That shows that we're in those top places at the minute, and I think there's still more to come from this group. There's players that have got another 5-10%. And I'd like to say if that happens, then we're looking at a great chase for the top of this league.
There's a lot of respect here for Dave Conway, isn't there? I can tell from the way you're talking about him. There's a lot of respect for Dave.
Yeah, Dave's a great guy. Obviously, works around with the lads when puts on great sessions and comes and has your one-on-one chats with you and really gets a feel of what the dressing room's like and how you're feeling. And he's been at the club for 3 years or so, and he gets it. He knows what Stockport is. He knows that we're in a results-based business as well, and he set up us today to make sure that we could go out there and deliver a performance and deliver a win. And he'll probably feel a little bit like he's obviously stepping in Jim's shoes, having not been second to him. But all credit to the way he's just, because it would have been a massive shock for himself that he's composed himself and delivered a fantastic team talk and set us up in a great way that we probably should have gone on to win this game today, but we've come away with a point. And Dave's been really positive and said keep doing what we're doing, and like you say, what will be, but that's not the responsibility for any of the players. It's just for us to keep our heads down and work and try and get yourself in the new manager's plans and go forward.
Well, Liam, it's very cold. You've gone and got a 1-1. Go and get some food. I'll let you get inside. Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Cheers now.